The garden is alive in a way that feels almost holy right now. The heat of summer isn't just clinging to the air, it's pulsing through everything. I've noticed that when the sun hangs heavy like this, I start to feel time differently. It doesn't rush, it stretches, it deepens. There's something about this kind of heat that makes me stop trying to run from myself. It slows me down just enough to notice the lines forming in my face, the strength in my softness, the way aging has begun to feel like becoming, not losing. In the garden everything ages and nothing apologizes. The blooms fall, the colors shift, the stems grow tired, and yet somehow it's all more beautiful, more honest as it changes. There's no hiding in nature, no pretending. And maybe that's why I feel so drawn to the garden now, because in its quiet wisdom I see myself, I see all of us. So when I feel the pressure of aging, or the pull of time, or the ache of change, I remind myself, you are part of the rhythm. You don't have to rush. You don't have to prove. You just have to stay open like the flowers and let the light in. I feel it in myself, in the way I've been needing more silence, in the way I've been questioning who I've become and what I've left behind. There's a sense that the deeper layers of us are being stirred, not to break us, but to awaken something long forgotten. I often ask people, who are you? And more often than not, the answer is tied to a job, a role, or a location. I am a teacher. I work in finance. I am a mother. I live here. But when I ask again, no, who are you? Most people pause. The truth is, many of us don't know. We've spent so long fitting into a world that defines us by what we produce or who we were seen with, that we've lost touch with the essence of who we are beneath it all. July is asking us to remember, not the surface story, but the soul underneath. It's an invitation to slow down, not out of laziness, but necessity, to listen more closely than we have in a long time, to clear out what no longer matches who we are becoming, no matter how long we've carried it. And this time the message isn't just internal, it's everywhere. The massive solar activity, the unusual heat, the way summer seems to press on the skin. You are being gently, or not so gently, pushed back into rhythm. Not the rhythm of the modern world, but the one that has always lived in your bones. The rhythm of the earth, of the stars, of your soul. But who are we supposed to be? Who am I then? I hear your questions. I feel them like quiet echoes carried on the wind. You are not alone in wondering. This path, this unfolding, was never meant to be easy. It's not about becoming someone impressive or polished. It's about remembering something ancient that has always lived inside you. Deep down, we still respond to the same signals the earth has always given us. Our heartbeat and brainwaves, our entire nervous system, are in quiet but constant conversation with the sky above and the ground beneath. It's the unseen that speaks most clearly. The frequencies we can't touch, but feel. The ones that stir tears without words, or bring peace with no explanation. We were never meant to feel so numb, so lost in roles and schedules and comparisons. July is not asking you to fix yourself. It's asking you to feel yourself, to strip away the noise and come back to a state of listening. The kind of listening that doesn't rush to define, but gently holds the question, who am I when I stop trying to be anything? That's where it begins, in the noticing, in the breath beneath force, in the simple act of walking outside and letting nature remind you that you're not behind, you're not broken, you're not late. You're just remembering the language of your own spirit. We should not be afraid of growing old. Every age has its wonders, its own quiet truths. And strangely, beautifully, it seems that the older we get, the more we begin to connect to what life really is. Not the noise, not the chase, but the presence. The way the flowers lean gently into the wind. The way the grass sways without resistance. The way time slows down when you actually notice it moving. Think for a moment. What if you asked the tree that same question we ask ourselves? Who are you? The tree wouldn't answer with its function. It wouldn't say, I give shade, or I make oxygen. It would say something simpler, something truer. I am here. That's it. No performance, no proof, just presence, just being. And if you asked a flower, it might smile and say, I am the color of sunlight translated into softness. Or maybe it would say nothing at all. Maybe it would just bloom, quietly, fully, for no other reason than because it's alive. There's a kind of wisdom in that. A lesson we forget when we're young and trying to become everything. Life isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to yourself over and over, until even the smallest moment feels like home. Growing older is not about fading. It's about unfolding. It's when the deeper layers begin to show. It's when the rushing softens into rhythm. When clarity begins to replace striving, and you start to hear what's always been there, the quiet truth that you are enough just as you are. Not because of what you do, but because you are. And maybe in the end, that's all any of us really want. To be like the tree, rooted and reaching, or the flower, opening for no reason but joy, or the wind, moving freely, touching everything without needing to stay. And isn't it true? The trees we admire most are often the oldest ones. The giant oak that has stood through storms and seasons. The ancient pine with its weathered bark and wide, patient silence. We don't love them because they're perfect or untouched. We love them because they've endured, because they carry time in their rings and wisdom in their stillness. Because something in their presence reminds us that growing old is not something to fear, it's something to honor. When we stand beside a tree that's lived for centuries, we don't question its worth. We don't ask it to be smaller or younger or less weathered. We stand in awe. We listen. We feel safe, maybe even seen. So why is it so hard to offer ourselves that same reverence? We forget that age brings its own beauty. Not loud, not always visible, but deep and grounding. Just like the old trees, we become more honest with time, softer in the right places, stronger in the ones that matter, and more able to see the quiet magic that was always there. That's the gift of this season of life. To know that you don't have to keep proving your worth. You just have to keep growing in the direction of truth, of love, of wholeness. The rest will take care of itself. The way we perceive the world shapes the world we experience. Walk through the garden with presence and time slows. The air becomes textured. Colors seem to breathe. The wind feels like it's speaking directly to your skin. But when your mind is elsewhere, rushing, distracted, that same garden fades into the background. The moment slips through your fingers. And here's the quiet truth. So much of what we long for, peace, beauty, connection, is already here. It's always been here, waiting to be noticed. It lives in the now, not in what's next. It lives in how we choose to walk through each moment, how we notice, how we listen, how we allow ourselves to soften. Nature doesn't try to be meaningful, it simply is. The tree doesn't perform its wisdom, yet we feel it when we stand beneath its branches. The flower doesn't strive to be beautiful, and still we pause to admire it. There's no effort in its becoming, only presence. Nature calls us to wake up, to stop drifting through our lives like visitors, to begin belonging again. And still we wait. We tell ourselves we'll listen later. We'll slow down one day. We'll reconnect when the time feels right. But what if that moment never arrives? What if someday becomes too late? Not because we failed, but because life doesn't pause. Because the garden blooms whether we pay attention or not. Because the soul can only whisper for so long before it grows quiet. And because missing that quiet, missing yourself, might be the greatest loss of all. So ask yourself, gently, honestly, who am I? Nature doesn't need you to perform. It only asks you to be here. But if you don't listen, it will keep calling, through heat, through silence, through the pressure that brings you back to what matters. There are messages in the wind, there are codes in the light, there are rhythms older than memory, waiting just beneath the noise. And maybe this time you'll open the door, the one between the life you know and the part of you that never forgot. Because nature isn't just beautiful, it's alive, it's wise, it's sacred. It's asking you to rise, to return, to be real. Maybe you're stronger than you think. So prove it to yourself. We didn't come here to stay young. We came to grow wise, to carry light through time, and to lift the vibration for those who come after us. Sending you all so much love. Stay kind and shine your light.